Well, you have to wonder, are there some new developments within the secondary market for Star Wars hot toys? And is it possible that the Dark Jedi, Aries who serves up all the Star Wars hot toys talk, has some new waitlist alerts? Let's dive into it, baby. Right now. All right, and welcome everybody to another episode of the Market Value Chart Show right here at 6 Scale Cantina. So I am super pumped to bring you this Market Outlook edition of the Market Value Chart Show. We have quite a few secondary market trends that we need to go over. And also we need to go to Sideshow Collectibles and we need to see what's going on with Star Wars hot toys. I do have some thoughts on some new waitlist alerts for some of these items. So going ahead, we're going to go ahead and dive right into it after I advise you that I will be live this coming Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern. It'll be the regular Market Value Chart Show live with a full panel, and I absolutely cannot wait to hang out with all of you there. Last week it was Dante from the Man of Hot Collectibles turn, and it was a lot of fun being on his show with everybody on there. And this week he'll be on mine as well. So we look forward to that, along with a plethora of guests. So go ahead and book that on your calendars again, this Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern. And is it possible that the Dark Jedi, Aries will be serving up all the Star Wars hot toys talk once again this coming Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern with Live and Raw? What you gonna do when Aries goes live and raw on you? What you gonna do? Oh boy, get your coffee ready. Get your coffee ready for this Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern, baby. Get your mops. Get your extra pots. Here we go. Here we go. Anyway, let's get into this episode. Let's get into this episode, my friends, for sure. As we do with every Market Outlook edition of the Market Value Chart Show, we will head on over to 6scalecantina.com. And if you don't have 6scalecantina.com bookmarked, you may want to consider doing so. Not only does it have the Market Value Chart, which has all the latest values and trends up or down for Star Wars hot toys, every single one within the secondary market, but all kinds of Star Wars hot toys news and immediate trend news for sure. So let's go ahead and go down actually to the market alert section on the homepage. And you can see the first item that is listed. A New Hope Ben is trending up again. Wow. This is an incredible figure. And let me go ahead and pull up some recent data on A New Hope Ben. I'm pulling this up onto the screen. You could see back from July 23rd, $550, not including shipping and not including taxes. Very reputable seller with no negative feedback. And it's absolutely crazy. Right now, so many of the original trilogy figures for Star Wars hot toys. And you have to wonder, is it possible that there could be a potential reissue for old Ben from A New Hope? And I think as I'm pulling up the market value chart to take a look at exactly where this is sitting within the secondary market, there are a few variables that we need to take into consideration with a lot of these original trilogy figures, including Obi-Wan Kenobi from A New Hope. Now, when you get to the market value chart, remember to go ahead and click that current value column a couple of times so you get the highest ranked figures to the lowest ranked figures, so it's easier to navigate. But you can go ahead and scroll down and see that Obi-Wan from A New Hope. Wow. Right here, MMS 283. $543 and rising. And you have to wonder if this figure actually has the potential to go into the $600 range. And you also have to wonder, what does it mean that the Obi-Wan series is coming out next year? Is there going to be flashbacks for with Obi-Wan and Ewan McGregor? And I believe that there will be. But is there actually going to be some flash forwards? Is there going to be some looks into the future? And that would be very, very interesting indeed if they go that route. But you also have to take into consideration with how much hype and probably interest the Obi-Wan series is going to garner. Not only with Obi-Wan back, but also with Hayden Christensen coming back to portray Anakin Skywalker and Darth Vader as the man behind the mask and the suit as Darth Vader. That there could be some potential for some real interest for Obi-Wan Kenobi. And even with the 50th anniversary of Star Wars looming, in some years and several years to come, Hot Toys does not have to wait for this particular figure at all to put that out. As you saw from the Empire Strikes Back Darth Vader, they didn't wait for the 40th anniversary of Darth Vader to put that out, where you have the back of the head, half the head sculpt, and you have that awesome display base. They went ahead and put it out, and then they reissued it in the 40th anniversary packaging for the Empire Strikes Back. And they could do the same thing here with Obi-Wan Kenobi, Alec Guinness, this head sculpt, right here. They do not have to wait at all for the 50th anniversary of Star Wars. They could reissue it again then, or come out with a different version. Who knows? They could maybe even come out with some type of Force Ghost version, which would make you spill my coffee. Very, very interesting. But I do think there are some possibilities. But if none of that happens, you can rest assured that this Obi-Wan Kenobi, sitting here at $543 and rising, will absolutely hit the $600 tier range, and possibly even beyond if they don't reissue it, just because of the hype of the Obi-Wan series. Let's actually go back to the homepage here and go back to the market alert section. And you can see what's next over here. I'm bringing up the Shore Trooper. The Shore Trooper from Rogue One is trending down, ladies and gentlemen. And let me bring up some recent data on the Shore Trooper. Pulling this up on the screen. And this is going back from July 24th. $485 with 6 bids, not including shipping, not including taxes. Now, that is a hefty sum of money. But it's nowhere near where this was going for, which was in the $600 tier range for a while. And then they went ahead and, put out those extra versions of the Shore Trooper that are up on pre-order at Sideshow. And it really didn't affect it at first, but it started to affect it a couple of months ago, and it keeps affecting it all the way up till now. Let's go to some other data, where we're selling into the 500s. And let's go to another Shore Trooper here. And that one was from July 24th. And this one from July 22nd, 14 bids, $465, not including the shipping and not including the taxes. Another very, very good seller, $748. Wow. So very, very interesting indeed with the Shore Trooper here from Rogue One for sure. Now, let's actually go ahead and go to the market value chart and see exactly where the Shore Trooper is sitting. Now, just so you know, you can go ahead and click on that current value column so you can get the highest ranked figures to the lowest ranked figures. Or you could actually just type in Shore Trooper, which I'm going to do. And you'd even have to finish with the whole sentence. And you can see the whole word, and you have it come on up. And right now, $507 and trending down. And you have to wonder, is it possible that the Shore Trooper from Rogue One would actually dip into the $400 tier range, where it was sitting at the $600 tier range for so long? And there's a couple of variables to consider with the Shore Trooper as well. You certainly have a lot of the Shore Trooper versions, a couple of them anyway, available at Sideshow for pre-order. Let's actually go there right now, and let's go ahead and take a look at a couple of these that are sitting there. And I actually think that it could settle down to a mid or high $400 tier range figure. But I think at the end of the day, honestly, this figure is going to go back into the $500 tier range because it is very, very rare. And they didn't do a straight reissue of this figure. Let's pull up the Shore Trooper. Let's pull up this one onto the screen. And this one is from the Mandalorian, Shore Trooper. And you can see this here up on the screen, $230. So you can go ahead and get this version. Let's go ahead and go back and look at the other one. And certainly, there's going to be a lot of collectors that are going to pick up that figure. And then you can see this other Shore Trooper squad leader. And clicking on that. And this one's actually from the Rogue One series, the Rogue One movie. And this is the squad leader. And this one's $230. And I think at the end of the day, it's not these figures are not the figure that I have pulled up on the screen. It's not the original Rogue One Shore Trooper. And I think what that spells for me, when you go ahead and take a look at this particular figure here, and kind of blowing it up a little bit so we can look through it, I think this is a rare figure. I don't expect them to reissue this figure. I expect them to maybe give us some variations. I mean, they very well could. But there's a lot that you can do with these. And I think that this will rise back up into the $500 tier range. But it is possible they could settle within the $400 tier range. You have to remember what happened with the Mandalorian Death Troopers. The Death Trooper that came out for the Mandalorian, which is starting to rise again within the secondary market, didn't affect the Death Troopers that are already in the secondary market from Rogue One. As a matter of fact, those figures are starting to rise, and they rose even while the final production photos came out of the Death Trooper from the Mandalorian. And I think you're going to see the same thing with these Shore Troopers here at the end of the day. And I think also with so many Star Wars figures that are coming out and available on pre-order, and that are also starting to get released, that, you know, paying $600-700 for certain figures is a little bit, it's going a little bit down on a couple of these, and you're certainly seeing it right now with the Shore Trooper from Rogue One for sure. But I believe that that particular figure is going to rise again unless they would go ahead and straight reissue it. But we're gonna have to go ahead and keep an eye on it anyway, nonetheless. So let's go ahead and go back to 6scalecantina.com and see what is next on the list within the secondary market for Star Wars hot toys. So that's what's going on with the Shore Trooper. Shore Trooper trending down beforehand. A New Hope and Kenobi trending up. Figures trending up. Figures trending down. Look what else is trending up. Chewbacca. But Chewbacca from The Force Awakens is on the move. And this is, you know, not very surprising to me. There's two Chewbaccas that are out there. This one actually has the articulated jaw. And again, I spoke about this in one of my last episodes. Obviously, some collectors have experienced a very awful batches of this Chewbacca. But I've seen some pictures of this The Force Awakens Chewbacca that look absolutely outstanding. So I don't know if it's the way you brush the hair. I don't know if it's the batch you got. But whatever it is, You can see right here, back from July 23rd, and I saw when this listing came on. And these are very, very rare to find right now. $298, not including the $60 in shipping. So really, you could go ahead and add $40 onto that. And it's really $340 where this was, or $335. And that's where this figure is going right now, is between $340 to $400 and over. This Chewbacca from The Force Awakens. It's actually very neck and neck with the Chewbacca from A New Hope. It's actually just under it, and it has been slowly, not just the last week, not just the last month, not just the last few months, but for a while, it's been creeping up to there. And I've mentioned before that the whole 2-pack with Han Solo from The Force Awakens and this Chewbacca is also on the rise. It's just a buck or two away, quite frankly, from going over the $600 tier range, if it's not there already. But let's go ahead and go to the market value chart. And actually, let me just type in Chewbacca. I probably just get to Chew and it'll all come up. And you can see Chewbacca from The Force Awakens on the move, rising up, $336 and rising. Now, when you look at Chewbacca MMS 262 from A New Hope, obviously it's $100 above it, $438 and rising. But the Chewbacca from The Force Awakens is $336 and rising. And then when you look at the 2-packs, the comparison, Han and Chewbacca from The Force Awakens, $598 and rising. And Han and Chewbacca from A New Hope, $900 and steady. So very, very interesting indeed for that figure for sure. And I spoke about it in last episode that some of the iconic sequel figures, Han Solo from The Force Awakens, Leia Organa from The Last Jedi, Luke Crate from The Last Jedi, and actually all the Lukes, to be honest, they're all going up. From the sequels, those legacy characters, Harrison Ford, Carrie Fisher, Mark Hamill, are rising. They are rising. Not to mention that the Rey Daisy Ridley figures and the Adam Driver figures are rising as well, although you're not seeing that anymore with Kylo Ren. You're actually seeing the original Kylo Ren, and the Last Jedi Kylo Ren is sinking, for sure. But it's because a lot of people are able to get the Rise of Skywalker Kylo Ren, and we've spoke about that before. That is a absolutely outstanding figure, actually. This Kylo Ren. I'm pulling that up onto the screen. You know, I did an insider unboxing on this video, and you know, I'm not very good at unboxings, but if you want to see a kid in a candy shop, that's kind of how I am when I open these. So it's kind of crazy to you know, I just enjoy myself when I get these. But I mean, just look at that. I mean, it's an awesome figure, and you know, I'd love to have the Last Jedi one. It was going so high, but even now, when you're able to get it for, you know, in the high $200 tier range is really where it is. I don't feel a need personally, even though it was in the mid 400s, really high for a long, long time. But this kind of does it. This is the Kylo Ren that I can use in my collection. There wasn't very, very much difference, you know, between the first movie and the last movie of this particular character. And there's going to be some that where this character is beloved, they need every version. And I love every version of it. I'm kind of fine with this one right now with everything else that I have to get. It's not a character where I need multiples at this point. We'll see how far down The Last Jedi one will go, which I don't think will be very, very low at all. And we'll talk about that in a second. But this is a beautiful, absolutely outstanding figure. And you can see that helmet lighting up there within the video. So when you're able to get this for the retail price at Sideshow and other comic shops for now anyway, you know, why are you going to spend $500 for a Last Jedi Kylo Ren? And I think, you know, that's how some collectors are looking at it anyway. So very, very interesting with some of these. Let's go ahead and go back to the 6scalecantina.com and talk about some other figures here. So let's actually go to Luke Skywalker from A New Hope. And it's very interesting about Luke right now is Luke is just on fire. And really, I spoke about Luke. I'm ready. I'm ready to spill my coffee again, baby. When that Mandalorian Luke Skywalker finally gets announced by Hot Toys for wow. And it is 1000% going to get announced before the end of this year. You heard it right here from a 6 scale Cantina. I've already got the word from the Hot Toys wizard, baby. That is absolutely going to get announced. I can't wait to see exactly how I'm going to spill my coffee with that release and what they have in store for us. Does it come with an R2? Does it come with a Grogu? Well, I think we all know it's going to come with a Grogu, right? It's going to be very, very interesting. What have they done with the head sculpt? Is it possible it has rolling eye functions? Did they just go ahead and keep the same head sculpt, change the paint applications, gave you some different hair pieces, change the cloak? Who knows? We're going to have to see. But Luke is very, very hot right now for sure. And really everything Luke. The Luke Stormtrooper from A New Hope is absolutely skyrocketing. And let's go ahead and take a look at just something recent for Luke here. I actually just recently saw a Luke go, close to, it was $300 something or, and it was missing pieces. Get a bargain on it. This one, $450, $449.99, best offer accepted. You can go ahead, say, okay, well, they took, $10 off 15, maybe it was 30. Very high, very reputable seller, 100% feedback, almost 700. Probably more like $15 off, but even if you say 25, you want to say 30, about $420. Yeah. Wow. Luke Skywalker A New Hope continues to inch up. And let's actually go to the market value chart at 6scalecantina.com and see where these Lukes are sitting. And I'm actually just going to type in Luke within the search column and get a ton of Lukes that come on up. Let's see what comes on up. And where's Luke A New Hope? Well, that was a lot of Lukes. Right here. Got to highlight it. $416 and rising. And you have to wonder, is A New Hope Luke a priority for Hot Toys right now to come out with this figure? Or does the priority more lie on the Mandalorian Season 2 version of Luke Skywalker, and perhaps a Bespin Luke Skywalker, and even better, a Hoth Luke Skywalker, which we talked about on the last Live and Raw? Look, that would be, I would be fine if they didn't come out with the Bespin Luke yet. If they wanted to give me a Hoth Luke, because that means they're going to give me a Hoth Han, I hope. And that means I'm going to get a Tauntaun. And I don't care what the price is. If you're going to go ahead and make a Tauntaun, I'm going to go ahead and buy a Tauntaun. And I'm sure many of you will as well. That's a coffee moment. But anyway, I don't see a Farm Boy Luke until possibly the 50th anniversary of Star Wars, for them going ahead and reissuing or redoing that figure. And you have to wonder if they would even redo that figure. And maybe give us a ceremonial Luke Skywalker. At the end of A New Hope, when him and Han have to get the medals from Leia, they could actually do a Han, that version. They could also do a Leia, that version. They don't have to reissue any of these figures. Remember that. But I don't think that Farm Boy one is coming anytime soon. So is it possible that this Farm Boy Luke could actually get to the $500 tier range sometime within a year or the next 2 years? And I say yes, it absolutely could. Absolutely could. And you see the Luke Stormtrooper here, and I believe I have to, update this. There's so much data of this actually trending so high, and I can tell you right now that it's hard to touch this figure for anything less than $500. We'll have to go through all of that. But, look at this Luke Bespin exclusive, $705 and rising. Luke Bespin steady at $600, the DX07 regular. The Luke The Force Awakens is steady at $254, but that has been rising. Is it possible there's enough data on that? And I actually think that there is. Luke Return of the Jedi, insane. Insane. $470 and climbing towards the $500 tier range. And even the Luke The Last Jedis, I have it even. $208 for the non-deluxe, deluxe, $256. Those figures, which is the Hobo Luke, are showing signs of rising. Luke Crate, $306 and rising. The Luke Return of the Jedi Endor, the non-deluxe, steady at $340. That is showing signs of rising. And the one that is insanity is Luke Return of the Jedi Deluxe, $544 and climbing. Luke is hot. Luke is hot, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go ahead and scroll back up. Let's go ahead and look at Krennic here. So Krennic is climbing. Boy, I remember when we can get this figure for $325 just about a year ago. Wow, $310. Let's pull some stuff up on Krennic. Very, very interesting here. See if I could find it. Give you some recent data. Krennic. Just back from July 27th. $453.50 with 10 bids. Not including, well, it's free shipping. Not including the taxes. Great, great seller. 100% feedback. Close to 400. Wow. And let's see where Krennic is within the market value chart at 6scalecantina.com. We can go ahead and type that in. Just put in Krennic. Probably just have to get K-R-E-N. And there it is. MMS 519. $449. Just $1 away from $450. And trending up. And you have to wonder, just how far could Director Krennic get within the secondary market for Star Wars Hot Toys? And is there any possibilities that Director Krennic could be reissued? And I think that there are, depending on what they do on the Andor series, and perhaps some spin-offs from there, or some stuff, or maybe even a different version. We'll have to keep an eye on it. But that figure, absolutely crazy right now. For sure. I think there's actually potential for many of the Rogue One figures to actually be reissued. We'll have to see what's going on and keep an eye within the secondary market. Wow. Let's go ahead and take a look at some other things here. So let's go ahead and take a look at Cody. So pulling up everything Cody. Cody is inching up and rising dollar by dollar, week by week. And this figure, every time, if it's not missing pieces, like you got read description, it is anywhere between $425 upwards over $500 right now. And when you look at all these listings, you have some $400, but $40 in shipping. Okay. So really $420, $425, $450, $475, $485, on and on and on for Cody. Cody is very, very hot within the secondary market. Here's a very reputable seller right here, Hawk Wars Toys. And this seller, 100% positive feedback, over 1,100. And has this priced correctly within the trends anyway for secondary market, right? $425. You got a lot of listings higher, $450, $475, over $500, certainly $500, $600 overseas. But this is where this is going. This is, about $425 figure. And it is certainly heading that way. And you have to wonder exactly what this means for some of the other figures, like Captain Rex, and the 501st, and the Coruscant Guard, and Ahsoka, and Clone Wars Mall, and some of these Clone Wars releases that are coming out, and other clones in the future. And I'm telling you right now, with a lot of stuff happening in the Bad Batch, and other things. This Cody figure was already just going to go high just by default, just with Captain Rex. So, is it possible that this Cody can actually hit the $500 tier range even before the end of this year? And I say yes, it 100% will. There's going to be such a high demand for Cody. It is going to be insane. And that should tell you what's going to happen with Captain Rex. And let's actually go and pull up Cody within the market value chart and see exactly where Cody is sitting. And you can see right here, going up even more, $404 and rising. And remember, when it's sitting at $404, that means many times it's selling $450, $475, $500, sometimes over $500. And it's also selling within the $300 tier range, sometimes $350, could be $335, could be $375, but more often than not, it is selling higher within the $400 tier range. That's what causes an uptrend, and that's why this figure right now is $404. And right now, more times than not, it is selling for about $4.25, $4.35, and it'll probably continue to rise in that fashion for sure. Let's go to some other ones that many of you have been asking me about, like the Heavy Infantry Mandalorian. The Heavy Infantry Mandalorian has trended down. And here's another gauge, bringing up Hawk Wars toys again. $375, 13 watchers. This is about where this is in the secondary market. This Heavy Infantry Mandalorian. And right now, it's somewhere between $350 and $400. So it has actually escaped. It has left. It has dipped, baby, below the $400 tier range. Let's actually see exactly where this figure is sitting within the secondary market. And pulling up the market value chart, I'm just going to put in heavy. I'm probably going to get Mando. I'm probably going to get the Praetorian Guards, or one of them. And Heavy Infantry Mandalorian, $395 and climbing down. And I'm still seeing this climbing down, actually, within the secondary market. And I think it's going to even off somewhere around 360, 350 maybe. And it's going to rise right back up. And you have to wonder, why? Why does the Dark Jedi, Aries Tarrington, believe that? Well, you're going to get the armor. And the armor goes very, very well with the Heavy Infantry Mandalorian. And that figure in and of itself, which is a limited edition figure, is going to catapult the Heavy Infantry Mandalorian up a little bit. And, there's always ebbs and flows within the secondary market. You see that with the Remnant Trooper. You saw it with the Death Trooper. You saw it with so many different figures. This figure all day long at the end of the day is a $450 to $500 tier range figure when it's all said and done. And you have to wonder, is it possible that Hot Toys would actually reissue this Heavy Infantry Mandalorian? And I say no. I think what they're going to do when this character shows up, at the very least in Season 3 of The Mandalorian, is he'll have some different markings, he'll have some different markups, perhaps, depending on the story arc of where he goes and where he sets in. Maybe he might even come with a head sculpt. And that's what they're going to do. They're going to give you different versions of this Heavy Infantry Mandalorian. So not only can the people who missed out on this figure get a Heavy Infantry Mandalorian, but be able to capture some collectors that would perhaps get a second version of that figure within their collection. A smart business, and I believe that is a direction that Hot Toys would go. So let's go ahead and go back. And that's some of the things there within the secondary market for Star Wars Hot Toys. Let's go ahead and actually go to Sideshow. And let's actually go to everything Sideshow, not just Hot Toys. I mean, not just Star Wars. We'll go Marvel, DC, everything Hot Toys. Let's sort it out, best-selling wise, and see where things are sitting. So as that goes ahead and loads onto the screen, there we go. And you could see what's in front of you right here. And very, very telling is this. Look what is number one. Boba Fett and the throne. Wow. Even after all the excitement and all the Star Wars hype and coffee spilling moments, continued coffee spilling moments, because I already was spilling my coffee over this Boba Fett and throne. I'm still spilling my coffee, baby. But the coffee spilling moments during the Sideshow Con, this really validates how important this particular character is for Star Wars collectors and in Star Wars in general. Even after all that, this figure with the throne at $390 is sitting at number one. And look at what's number two. The armor, wow. And then number three, Iron Man Mark 1, no surprise there. Boba Fett by himself, number four, wow. Then you see Armorized Deadpool, looks like an outstanding figure. That absolutely stunning Black Widow, the Mandalorian and Grogu, and the Mandalorian and Grogu with the Pedro Pascal head sculpt. Then you have the 501sts, no surprise there, along with Iron Strange and Iron Man Neon Tech 4.0. Wow. Then you got Spider-Man, Division, Mandalorian Beskars. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Very interesting. But yeah, check that out sitting there. And actually now what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually sort this out just Star Wars now that I was able to show you that. Just how hot Star Wars is. And just there hasn't even been, besides the Bad Batch, a live action show that's not animated. I'm pulling this up, just Star Wars. See it refresh there. And let's take a look and talk about the armor. I do have some insider information about the armor, and I can tell you that it's been limited to 500 pieces in Hong Kong, this exclusive. And you have to wonder how many pieces then it's going to be limited to here in Europe and the United States. And I could tell you when you try and put this in your cart, multiple versions, you're only able, it's limit one. And with how hot this is trending right now, is it possible that this figure could actually hit waitlist before it gets in stock? And I do give a yellow alert to this figure with how hot the Mandalorian is right now. And what a yellow alert means is there is somewhat of a possibility, there is the making here, that this can go away very, very quickly, or possibly not even make it in stock from pre-order, or once it gets in stock, not sit in here for longer than a couple of weeks or a few weeks as an exclusive. And you do have to take into account some figures from the past that were exclusives that actually did sit in stock for a long time. And, you always hear about like the Dark Side Anakin sat in stock for a while, things of that nature. But remember, that was a different time for Star Wars. There was a lot of sour notes. No one went to the theaters to go see the Solo movie. It was a totally different time. There is a complete 180 right now for Star Wars. Thank goodness, because it's making me spill my coffee. Under that view, I hereby project that this armor is not going to sit in stock for as long as Dark Side Anakin. And The Mandalorian's been over for how long already? Season 2? And is this hot? And hotter than all the Marvel shows right now? For Hot Toys anyway, coming on up over here. I'm telling you right now that this will not sit in stock very, very long. I give the armor a yellow alert. If you're interested in this figure, or this is a figure that you really do plan on buying, and you're just sitting on it because you haven't had the time, I would actually perhaps reconsider your position and pre-order it, because this is an exclusive, and I do think there is a recipe, not a guarantee. There's a little bit of a percentage where this could actually go on waitlist before it gets in stock. I do believe it will get in stock, but I'm not going to be surprised if it don't get in stock, and if it does get in stock, it isn't going to sit in here very long. For sure. Wow, look at Boba Fett. Wow. Wow, wow. Mandalorian, no surprise there with Pedro Pascal head sculpt, both versions. 501st, let's talk about this. Look at how high these troopers have been. And since this has been released, these have been up neck and neck, whether it's the deluxe or non-deluxe version. And you have to wonder, with how many multiples collectors are buying for this absolutely outstanding looking 501st Trooper, is this Trooper going to stay in stock for a long time? What do you think? I want you to answer that question. When you saw that the Death Trooper and the Remnant Trooper and the Incinerator Trooper and some of these troopers sat in stock for, 2 months, 3 months, is this 501st going to sit in stock for 2 months or 3 months? Or is this a particular figure where people are just buying so much more of? And this figure was not high in the pre-order lists as we were getting ready for this to come out. And that's another thing that I want to point out to everybody as well, is because people have asked, Aries, the Lando is kind of, and the Snow Speeder Luke. Well, the Snow Speeder Luke, by the way, is, and so is this Anakin. They have been rising, and so is Django. But anyway, they were sitting so low. Well, you know what? It's Lando. It's Luke. It's Anakin. Once the final production, just like 501st was pretty low down there as well. Not very low, but just it was lower. It wasn't very low. It was not very low, but it was down somewhere around where this Clone Wars mall is. And same thing with this Clone Wars mall. It's going to rise all the way up once final production photos comes out. And, they're going to pump these out. But you have to wonder, when are these going to sell out? I would not sit on the 501st. There's people that are buying more than 2, more than 3. I've heard some people buying a dozen. And some people might be buying 2 dozen of these figures. Look. And that's the same thing. Let's go down this list. Let's actually talk about Rex and the Coruscant Guard. What's going on with Rex? Oh boy, Rex. I'm putting the yellow alert back on Rex. I had a yellow alert on Rex. I took the yellow alert off Rex. Now I'm putting the yellow alert back on Captain Rex, guys and gals. Look, with all the excitement, and I know that there are going to be collectors, and you could let me know in the comments section, that are going to buy more than one of Rex. For sure. Ones that are going to go ahead and display this with the helmet on, and ones that are going to display Rex with the helmet off. And this figure is sick. Sick. And I think it's going to go so much faster than Commander Cody did. It's not even funny. Commander Cody was in stock for about 3 months. Boy, I would cut this in half and maybe a month and a half. Is it possible that there's a recipe where this could actually hit waitlist before it gets in stock? Very, very minimal. But, gosh, it's so hot. I wouldn't mess around with this figure. I don't see it. It's very, very rare that a figure actually goes on waitlist before it gets in stock. But I am seeing so much demand for Rex. I haven't spoken to a collector, and I'm sure that there's plenty out there, but I haven't spoken to a Star Wars collector that is not getting Rex. And quite frankly, a lot of them are getting multiples. And I'm not too sure if Hot Toys planned with a lot of this being a trooper. This is Captain Rex with the head sculpt, that people are going to go ahead and buy that many of these, at a time. I wouldn't have a comfort level where you can get your bed and your pillow, go on a camping trip. Oh, this is going to camp out. This is going to camp out for a while. We'll get Rex. And I tell you, here's the real interesting thing with this figure and why it's real important. It's $255. And I'm telling you right now, you're hearing it right here from 6 Scale Cantina. As soon as this figure hits waitlist, whatever minute of that day, this becomes a $400 tier range figure within the secondary market. Mark that down, ladies and gentlemen. Let's actually go back. to getting this sorted out. Click that again, see if that works. Here we go. Hope you're enjoying this Market Outlook edition of the Market Value Chart Show. Coruscant Guard. Oh, that was super low. Super low for so long. And now it's super high. And people are buying multiples of these. Clones are going to sit in stock less than the Death Trooper, than the Remnant Trooper, than the Incinerator Trooper. I'm telling you right now. I don't know if I'm putting an alert on the Coruscant Guard, but I should. I am. Yellow alert. There you go, on the fly. For sure. Wow. Ahsoka, don't mess around. Don't mess around. They're clearly putting this out early for a number of reasons. One of them is they don't have to match the head sculpt to any particular actress with this Ahsoka Tano. So they have a little bit more leeway with the head sculpt. Second reason is they want it out way before this Rosario Dawson version of Ahsoka with Grogu comes out, the deluxe, and non-deluxe, or the DX version. So I wouldn't take a chance with this particular figure. This figure broke the internet. Let's bring it up. Let's not forget that. This figure broke the internet. This brought a lot of collectors in. And, boy, this is outstanding. This is absolutely outstanding. Gotta have some coffee. Don't sleep on this figure. This is not a figure that's going to... It broke the internet. It has a real... Ahsoka has an amazing following. I just... as high as Qui-Gon went quickly, this is just going to go quicker once it sells out. Just being honest. And they also... I pointed it out before that Hot Toys knows that there's going to be people, and Sideshow knows that there's going to be people that have skipped on this to get the Rosario Dawson version, and vice versa. There's people who have ordered this that don't care about the Rosario Dawson version, and there are collectors like me that are going to go ahead and get both versions, baby. But there's certainly going to be some that are going to just wait for the Mandalorian version and skip out on this animated version. And whatever amounts that they were planning on doing overstock-wise, I could tell you right now that that has probably been trimmed down. Again, with everything and everybody buying. So many 501sts. So many Coruscant cards. This is 1,000% not a figure to sleep on. I'm not giving it a yellow alert, but I am telling you, it won't be in stock very, very long. That's my impression on this from everything that I see that is going on. Let's go ahead and have this load again and see what comes out as well after Ahsoka. Very, 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 very interesting times here for sure. Let's actually talk about... There's Kylo and Rey. Wow, they're selling so good. Rey right next to Ahsoka with Grogu. Above the full-scale Grogu, above Jango. Wow. Yeah, I mean, it's and this Kylo Ren. And what is the prospect of these figures that are on pre-order? And, you know, I've mentioned it before. And, you know, bringing that Kylo back up onto the screen. This is an absolutely stunning masterpiece by Hot Toys for Star Wars. And I'm telling you right now that they did not produce very many of these at all. These are already sold out in Hong Kong. You have to wonder just how many of these they made for the United States and Europe beyond pre-orders. And I think it is so limited that this particular figure is going to run out very, very quickly. I give this figure a yellow alert for hitting waitlist before it actually gets in stock. But the figure that I actually put even on more of a yellow alert is this particular figure I'm going to put on the screen here. And this is another absolutely stunning masterpiece by Hot Toys. And I did an unboxing of this. And for you insiders out there, this is forthcoming to see me fumble about going ahead with this figure. But this was just as much fun as opening up the IG-11 and the Kylo. And she is absolutely beautiful. They 1000% nailed the likeness of Daisy Ridley. It is by far, for me, the best Rey out of the other two that I have in the back over here. For me, it's not even a comparison when I look at them hand in hand. This one, the other two are outstanding. This one's just more outstanding. And I'm telling you right now, they made less of this than they did of this. And I don't think that they actually thought that these would actually catch fire and sell as good as they have done. And you have to wonder, is it possible, like with this Rey figure, that after they fulfill all the pre-orders, that they don't have thousands of these sitting in stock? Oh, let's get thousands of Rey. Or let's go ahead and get, extra hundreds and hundreds of Rey to go ahead and fulfill orders that may come in after pre-orders? And I say no. Now, does this mean there's a guarantee that this is not going to get in stock? No, I actually think that this will get in stock. And probably this will get in stock. But I think there's a recipe where it doesn't get in stock. That's why you go ahead and give alerts. And I think that at the end of the day, there's just so limited quality of these, Burn Hot Toys once, burn them twice, burn them 3 times. They absolutely did not make very many. But this is an outstanding figure. And the other thing of it is, when you go ahead and look at where Rey is trending within the secondary market for Star Wars Hot Toys, unlike the Kylo Ren from The Last Jedi, the Rey The Last Jedi continues to rise and be steady within that mid $300 tier range within the secondary market. The Rey and the BB-8 continues to rise and have a slow burn within the low, coming up to the mid $300 tier range. The Resistance Rey continues to rise slowly. There's a lot of demand for those Rey figures. But there is so much less of the Rise of Skywalker Rey. And where you're seeing the Last Jedi Kylo right now plummet into the $200 tier range, you're seeing the adverse effect with the other previously released Reys. So, except for Rey, The Force Awakens, without the BB-8, that came with the BB-8, which that one's affordable to get. So, yeah, yellow alerts on those. You have to wonder, wherever the Last Jedi Rey is, and, between $350 to $400 a lot of times that figure sells for, and over $400. You can bet you that this Rise of Skywalker one is just going to be, at the end of the day, when all the dust settles in a year, it's just going to be far more highly sought after and higher, I believe, the highest one, for sure. Scout Trooper and Speeder Bike. Boy. They didn't make very many of these. They needed it unsealed and revealed before final production photos came out. Oh boy, I just don't see this lasting very, very long. I don't know. The bike is highly sought after. I think it'll get in stock. I really do. And I actually think the regular Scout Trooper's in stock, and that was very, very low. Let's actually go to that. I would think that's in stock at this point. Yeah, add to cart. How long is this going to stay here? This was never very high to begin with. This is a great figure. I saw the reviews. You have to wonder. We'll have to keep an eye on it. I think it'll still be in there probably as long as the wherever a few months, wherever the Death Trooper and the Remnant Trooper and Incinerator Trooper. That's what I would think, and they probably made less of that than those. I would think they made less of that than those. Let's go to some others. Let's go to that IG-11. And where is IG-11? There he is. It's up high. Up high. I love this figure. Man, I did an unboxing on this, and I am so glad that I got this figure. I don't know. I don't know. I think what happened was, you know, they all these reviews came out, and the reviews were very, very, very favorable, and there was a lot of you know, hype on it, and then it seems like it's just taken them forever to fulfill some orders. So you have to wonder if this is actually going to get in stock and how long it'll sit in stock. Mandalorian IG-11 gets in stock. I'm not sure. I give it a yellow alert because I don't think it'll sit in stock long. It's an outstanding figure. We'll have to see. And closing up this episode of the Market Value Chart Show, let me give you one's forewarning that are going to be coming out quicker than later. Looking through here, I want to talk about the blur again. That's a long way off. Death Watch Mandalorian. People have asked me, is that like the Heavy Infantry Mandalorian? I don't know. I don't think so. I think that gets in stock. There's no problem there. What I'm telling you is going to happen, though, going into this last part of the Market Value Chart Show, what could possibly come out early? And I'm telling you right now that because Rex is coming out and the head sculpt is the same with just some differences here, I believe that this Jango Fett is going to be officially produced. The final production photos are going to come out this fall, and I don't think we're going to have to wait between January and March. I believe that this particular figure right here is going to get moved up in the production. And so I expect to see an announcement, a whopper announcement that Jango is ready. And we're not going to have to wait for the first quarter of next year. Because it's a Mandalorian. And not only because it's a Mandalorian, but you got the Book of Boba Fett coming out, baby. And there's probably going to be some references or some flashbacks or certainly some references to Jango Fett within the Book of Boba Fett. And I don't think that Hot Toys wants to wait to release this figure until after the Book of Boba Fett's over and we're getting ready for the Andor series or something else. I really believe that this particular figure, you heard it here from 6 Scale Cantina, that this particular figure is going to be released. Final production photos will come out very, very quickly. I expect within the next 2 months, maybe even 3 for this figure, but it's going to be coming out within the next 2 or 3 months for sure. And I would actually think it's going to be sooner. Maybe 2 months could be sooner. Yeah, I think that there's a potential for that to come out early. It just makes complete sense from a marketing and business perspective. And really you have to wonder, if they go ahead and do that, let's say they go ahead and do that. Let's say they go ahead and do that, baby. Do you know what I'm going to suggest next? Do you know what I'm going to suggest next? Wait, I'm getting a call. I got to take this call. It's from the Hot Toys Wizard. Hello, Wizard. I'm recording a show. Oh, you were watching. How can you watch it? This is pre-recorded. I don't have it published yet. Oh, because you're a wizard. And you got the Force. That's not how the Force works. I got the Force. I'm a Dark Jedi. What are you talking about? Well, that's what I was saying. You are confirming that Jango is going to get released this year. Okay. Well, I already said that. I already could feel that in the Force. Oh, you're telling me what the bombshell is. Okay. You want me to tell that? Okay, I already know that too. All right, thanks for nothing, because I already know this. Give me something new. Bye. All right. Is it possible that Mace Windu is going to go ahead and get teased or officially announced when they go ahead and come out with final production photos? of this Jango Fett? And I say, yes. That's the breadcrumbs. That's the thing that you all should be looking towards for this Jango figure right here. This is what I believe is going to happen, and it would make great sense when this gets released, or close to it, to go ahead and give us finally an official announcement, or at least a tease, baby, a purple lightsaber of Mace Windu. So there you go. Wow, fun times. Fun times if you are a Star Wars fan and you collect Hot Toys, for sure. Please go ahead and hit that like button if you enjoyed the content. And please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. I so very much appreciate your support for sure. Again, this Friday, I am going to be live. The Market Value Chart Show will be live this coming Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern. I so look forward to having you on that show. And I'm going to have so many guests on that show. Look forward to hanging out with them and with all of you here for sure. I'm also going to spill coffee again over the weekend as I go live and raw with myself and you on Sunday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. Is it possible I'll have some outrageous, ridiculous, crazy possibilities for Hot Toys for Star Wars? And I say, you ain't kidding, baby. That's what it's all about. Can't wait. Can't wait. Hey, I heard some of you are interested in some coffee mugs because I keep getting it. So I can tell you right now, I got the link to go ahead and get some coffee mugs within the video description below. You can go ahead and click on it. You're able to get an 11-ounce cup, or you can go ahead and get a 15-ounce cup. The 11-ounce cup is a few bucks cheaper, and the 15-ounce cup is a few bucks more expensive. Go ahead and make sure you pick the lowest ground shipping, because otherwise the shipping will be just so high. So go ahead and just figure out the shipping option that you want when you go on there. If you're interested in a mug, I've got the links in the video description below. I also have it at 6 Scale Cantina. So if you're interested in taking a look at some of these, I'll actually go ahead and pull it up. You can go to 6scalecantina.com. And right there at the home page, official Cantina mugs. Is it possible? Click here to order, baby. You can see it right on the screen. So if you're interested in that, and so many of you were, I went ahead and made some that are available. And thank you all so much for your support. It is very much appreciated. Also, if you're interested in some expanded analysis within the secondary market for Star Wars Hot Toys, or some expanded thoughts, perhaps just some fun stuff like unboxings, or some conversations with the Hot Toys wizard, you may want to consider becoming a Cantina Insider. So hit the little join button, and it tells you everything that it comes with if you want to become an insider. And if you like what it comes with and you're interested, you may want to consider. That's enough of that. Facebook, our Facebook is booming. Our Facebook is out. We talk about everything we talk about on here, and everything Star Wars Hot Toys. Got the link within the video description below. I got the links to all social media platforms. I got my Instagram within the link below. I participate in this Hot Toys Star Wars Discord group. I got that link within the video description below. Remember, many of the truths we cling to depend greatly on our own point of view. Stay thirsty, my friends.